to the Fantasy Footballers Sunday Live.
What's up, everybody? It's week 2. It's football time. It's me, your boy, Mike the Fantasy Hitman Wright from the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Thank you for joining me today for this week's Sunday Live, where we will go through the news, we will do our best to answer your questions, and, of course, tilt our faces off. Brooksy's in the house, he's house.
Heyo.
Yeah, there he is, Brooks. How'd week 1 go for you, Brooks?
It was okay.
Yeah? It went terrible for me.
Some winning, some losing.
All right, that's fair. Hey, I hope that week 1 went well for all y'all out there, and I hope that we can take you to another victory here in week 2. Brooks, I hope you remember how to do this, because I had to do some remembering last week.
I hope so, too.
Excellent work there, back in Deucer's Alley. So, we got a lot of news to talk about, so let's get into it.
The big picture.
All right, a lot of in and outs to talk about here. Quarterback C.J. Stroud is going to play for the Houston Texans. He popped up late on the injury reports with I believe it was a shoulder injury, but he's warming up. He is good to go. Not good to go? Basically, his entire offensive line. We have one starter remaining for the Houston Texans. Tunsil, kind of him and he's out in it this week. So, mercy on your soul this week, C.J. Stroud. At the running back position, here we go. Austin Eckler, he is out. Joshua Kelly, next man up. Maybe we see some work from Isaiah Spiller, but Joshua Kelly looked very good and was working in throughout the game with Austin Eckler last week. Let's see if he has actually made a big step in his career, and I'm into it. I think that Joshua Kelly's very interesting. Aaron Jones will be out for the Green Bay Packers. We did get another update that the hamstring injury is not considered serious, so likely we get Aaron Jones back next week. However, this week, a lot of A.J. Dillon, and I think that he is definitely in play just based off of volume. A.J. Dillon strikes me as the type of running back that he probably needs more and more work, and just wears people down, similar to Derrick Henry. I mean, that was kind of his physical comp coming out of college, so let's see if A.J. Dillon can get it going. Big news out of the Chicago Bears. Deonta Foreman, backup running back, is a healthy scratch. It is Khalil Herbert time. It is Roschon Johnson time. I doubt that either of those players are available for you, but I did see someone was tweeting that in Yahoo, Roschon is still available in like 70% of leagues. So I highly recommend, and look, I'm team Khalil Herbert, but you still got to be proactive and make moves just in case. I would go and get Roschon Johnson off the waiver wire should he be available. Cordell Patterson and his Joker role remain out for the Atlanta Falcons, so Bijan and Algier are safe for at least one more week. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he popped up on the injury report with a sickness. We weren't sure if he was going to be able to go. They had called up LaMichael Pirine from the practice squad, but Pirine is inactive. Clyde is ready to go. Kendre Miller, the recoverer, he is questionable for Monday night. Not that anyone is looking to play him, but he would certainly put a damper on excitement of volume for Jamal Williams. Christian Watson remains out for the Green Bay Packers as well. Romeo Doubs remains in play. Hopkins will play for the Titans. He had an ankle, but he is going to give it a go. Jerry Jeudy is in. We have seen conflicting reports on the snap count. Will he be limited? Will he not be limited? But he is going to play. Puka Nacua, the waiver wire sensation for the Rams and for all of fantasy football, truly the Week 1 champion in all of our hearts. He is expected to play. Now, it was an oblique injury, so it is something to pay attention to, but if he plays and you spent the fab on him, I can't imagine a situation where I'm sitting like I spent the fab because I need to go get Puka. It'd be a wild world where you don't actually play him if he is active. It is an afternoon game, so starters beware. All right. Brandon Cooks for the Dallas Cowboys. He is not expected to play with that MCL sprain. DJ Chark of the Panthers. I was like, Jags was stuck in my head. and I couldn't get away from it. He is questionable for Monday night. Have seen snap count on him. Not that anyone's really excited to play Chark. Amari Cooper, questionable for Monday night. However, thankfully, we did just get a blast from Adam Schefter that Amari Cooper is actually looking doubtful to play. They marked him as questionable, but it seems like he is not going to play. Make adjustments. Elijah Moore is in a very good spot for volume this weekend, or I should say Monday. Then we have some good news. I don't know if we have like the trumpet, whatever. Jared Goff's in this one, but just ignore Jared Goff. We're celebrating. Our tight end champions are back, everybody. Travis Kelce, Mandrews, both back. Travis Kelce rumored to be on his own snap count. So what? I don't care. I'm playing Travis Kelce. Just play Travis Kelce in the red zone, Chiefs. So many touchdowns. Mandrews, same deal. I'm going to play him. Now, this next bit of news, Greg Dulcich was placed on the IR, the tight end 2 for the Denver Broncos. He had another hamstring injury, which is I believe the second time in 2 years that he's had to go on the IR for his hamstrings. That sucks a lot. You know what I'm going to say. Brooks knows what Adam Troutman, just keep your eye out. Not that Adam Troutman's going to burn down the barn or anything like that, but he had 5 catches last week for 30-something yards. Who knows? Crazy stuff has happened. Brooks, are you ready back there with the computer and all the players? Okay, that's good.
He's so hot right now.
So if you've never joined us before on this segment, we take a look at your questions that are coming in. TheFantasyFootballers.com. You can go there. Well, not right. I mean, right now. Look, people can have multiple windows open. This isn't the mid-'90s. So you could be watching me be awesome right here and also pull up the FantasyFootballers.com. That's where our rankings are right now. We also have a very handy-dandy start-sit tool. Plug in your players. Player X, player Y. Spits that out, lets you know who we have projected higher, as well as some more, information about those players and their matchups. It's really, really cool, and it is very helpful. So you can go check that out right now. For the kind of beautiful supporters of this podcast at jointhefoot.com, which is our community, a bunch of other perks like an extra show, yada, yada, yada. But you also get your start-sit tool unlocked to, boom, 4 players. You can just put them all in there and, have a good time. But what we do is we track who are the hot questions, because each and every single week there are definitely players who are burning a little bit hotter that people want to know about. Who should they start? Who should they sit? So, Brooksy, who's hot right now?
All right, Mike. With Eckler news, as you can imagine,
Yep.
Joshua Kelly shot up the searches. So
I imagine so.
Yeah, so we got Joshua Kelly versus Titans or Miles Sanders against the Saints.
Oof, okay. Brooks, what are you doing to me over here?
Hey, that's what you're here for. The people.
Yeah, but some warm up, man. I gotta hit some free throws before I can start.
Oh, this is the warm up, Mike.
This is the warm up?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Okay. So my rankings have them very, very close. I'm currently sitting with Joshua Kelly at RB20 and Miles Sanders at 17. The volume is definitely safer for Miles Sanders. Like I said at the top of the show, Isaiah Spiller, how much is he going to get worked in? I mean, we haven't been really – I don't know if we've ever been in this spot where it was Joshua Kelly. I can't remember off the top of my head. I apologize. But with Eckler missing and Joshua Kelly being the next man up, being actually healthy, like we saw some Justin Jackson games back in the day. But I don't remember a Joshua Kelly game. But he looked so good. I don't know if that is the Miami run defense, but Joshua Kelly looks like he was moving at a speed that I have not seen Joshua Kelly moving at. Sanders against a very, very stingy New Orleans Saints defense. I lean Sanders, but the upside is with Joshua Kelly. Like if I'm trying to just knock one out of the park and I want to take on some of that risk, I would play Joshua Kelly. But Miles Sanders, safer floor with an okay ceiling. We didn't really mention it on the show. So I'll say here's something to keep a lookout for. Chuba Hubbard looked mighty good this past week. And it was all the Miles Sanders show in terms of opportunity. But Chuba looked like the guy who ran for the bajillion yards back in college. So that's something to keep an eye on moving forward into the future. For now, though, it is Miles Sanders. So that's how I play that one.
All right, Mike, you going Joshua Kelly or Javonte Williams against the Commanders, and he had 19 opportunities last week.
Yeah, that one's – oh, man. That one is Joshua Kelly for me. I have Javonte lowered down. I mean, that should be a very blarfy game, the Denver Broncos versus the Washington Manders. Like, if that game's 10-7, is anybody like, what happened to this game? You're like, no. That's kind of what we expected. So I'm going to move away from that one. I'd rather have the piece of the high-flying Chargers offense.
All right, Mike, here we go. Joshua Kelly or Zay Flowers against the Bengals.
All right. Zay Flowers was a revelation in week 1. It was awesome to see it happen. What happens when Mandrews is back in the lineup? What does that target share look like? I bet it's not 40+% of the targets, but maybe we're going to sit strong with a 25% market share. And hopefully, we get to actually see the Ravens offense unleashed. The Houston Texans have this weird thing where they shut down quarterbacks because they're just so bad at stopping the running back position. See Justice Hill and J.K. Dobbins before the injury. See what they were doing on the ground. So I lean – did they say a scoring format, or is this just agnostic?
It's just on the start sit.
On the start sit tool. Okay, so I lean Flowers. That's a really, really tough call. It's always really tough when you're going cross-positional like this, especially when a player is looking at an amount of opportunity and volume that they've never really seen. So we can't say fully confident that Joshua Kelly will be everything. Like, he's not going to get the Eckler treatment. I can't imagine that happening. But can he rip off some big runs, get some touchdown opportunity? But I'm going to go Zay Flowers in this one. Who do we got next?
All right, now that we're talking Zay, here's the #1 search on the start sit tool.
It's got Zay Flowers in it?
Zay Flowers.
Don't let me down, people.
Or Tyler Lockett versus the Lions. For you, Mike.
This is a Hitman special. So the Seattle Seahawks, they are, in fact, down those 2 offensive linemen that we were talking about throughout the week on the show. It happened. I mean, the offensive lines are kind of in shambles around the NFL, but that one really, really hit hard when you saw it in the second half versus the Rams. The Seahawks, they couldn't do anything. I have Zay Flowers because, of course, literally one spot in my wide receiver rankings sitting in front of Tyler Lockett. I think, I'm still playing Lockett, so don't let my pessimism on the Seahawks say, well, I got to get Lockett out of my lineup. That's not at all what I'm saying. Just saying that there is more risk for Tyler Lockett than there usually is. I am going to go I think Zay Flowers is the safer play here. I mean, we're talking we should get 6+ receptions from Zay Flowers, scoring opportunities. The matchups here, so we get at the Bengals. These things have gone both ways. Again, we talked about this on the show too, that we've seen huge points flow in this matchup of Ravens v. Bengals. We've also seen just a true AFC North slugfest where the points are not flowing versus that shootout of last year of the Seahawks and Lions. It's so alluring, but I'm going to stick with my rankings on this one. I'm going to go Zay Flowers.
All right, the last Zay one here. I think you maybe answered earlier. Zay or Jahan Dotson?
I will go Zay.
Avoiding the Blarf game.
Yeah. That one's. I'll take Zay Flowers in that. Not Dotson. I mean, brighter days are ahead for Dotson, but I don't think it's necessarily this week.
All right, last one, Mike. Dotson or Romeo Doubs at Falcons?
Okay, so again, Christian Watson is out. Aaron Jones is out. Does that turn into some more passing action for Romeo Doubs? Atlanta's going to try their best to just hold on to the ball and slow the game down. Man, Doubs had the 2 touchdowns on 4 catches and not very many yards. Dotson, man, I'm gonna go Jahan Dotson in this one. I lean that direction of these guys are ranked very, very close. I need to see Romeo Doubs fully active. He was on the snap count last week. He was still kind of in and out, or not in and out of practice, but in the practice report showing up with that the hamstring injury. So I'm going to wait. I want to see if he takes all the snaps this week, where I know that Dotson's at least going to be on the field all the time, and he'll be the 1A or 1B for Sam Howell. But that's very tough. I'm going to go with Dotson.
All right.
Is that it?
To the people.
To the people we go.
Stardom, sit 'em.
All right, again, the rankings, thefantasyfootballers.com, they are all there. When this stream ends, I will head back into the laboratory, and I will be making sure that those are exactly where I want them. Because, look, I can't talk about every single player on this fine program here, but we do our best. All right, Miguel wants to know PPR, Dotson or Nico. So Nico Collins of the Houston Texans. Tons of targets last week. We got, a good amount of them in the attempt to catch up at the end of the game. And that offensive line, that is terrifying with a quarterback who's already banged up. I'm going to go Dotson here. Nico is very interesting. I want him stashed on my roster if I can, but I'm going to go with Jahan Dotson there. Next question comes from Jace, who says, see if we're buying the hype, Joshua Kelly or Debo in a PPR. Debo, that's too far. That's too far for me for my optimism for Joshua Kelly. I'm going to play Debo. Next question. Yeah, Brooks, you make sure you're monitoring the news so I don't miss something.
Okay.
Here we go. Zay Flowers or Garrett Wilson in a PPR format. So I guess I'll just talk about – so Garrett Wilson, he gets to play the Dallas Cowboys on the road. Just my overall outlook for Garrett Wilson is it is rough. Now, it's not Drake London rough where you got one target, but I mean, if Garrett Wilson doesn't have that miraculous touchdown, then his day would have been just absolute booty. So I'm very, very concerned for Garrett Wilson in this unfortunate situation where we are placed. Like guys who I would consider playing over Garrett Wilson, Dotson, Pittman, Tyler Lockett, even DJ Moore against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I would be open to starting them over Garrett Wilson, at least for the week. I do like to bet on talent. Garrett Wilson, one of the most talented wide receivers, young wide receivers we have in the NFL right now. But the splits were just so bad. Last year when Garrett Wilson had good production, it was frequently not Zach Wilson as the quarterback. So between those two, I'm going to take the one who has his quarterback, which, shocker, the Ravens are down a few linemen as well. But I'm going to go with Zay Flowers. Next question. Oh, man. Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson. I don't know what to do here. All right. ZM Clue 55. Oh, very nice. Puka or Elijah Moore. My opponent is starting Watson. I, generally speaking, as a philosophy, I don't let my opponent's quarterback dictate who I'm going to play. I mean, this one's really tight. You got Puka, oblique injury, San Francisco 49ers, Elijah Moore, no Amari Cooper. Man, I think I would play Elijah Moore here, and that may be sacrilegious to what has occurred this past week, what Puka was able to do. It was absolutely incredible. But I need the 49ers matchup plus the injury for Puka. That really freaks me out. And I think that Elijah Moore is such a good option this week that I would make that move. Brooks, I'd make that move. What would you do, Brooks?
I play Puka.
Sorry. That's not helping anybody out there. Next question. Oh, yeah, baby. Here we go. John wants to know Cameron, or Antonio Gibson. Yeah, baby. Now that's some nasty week 2 action that we all need in our lives. So I jumped on good friend JJ Zacharysen's new podcast format, and we talked about Gibson a little bit. He did bring up the fact that before the fumble happened, the carry count between Robinson and Gibson was actually 3-2 or 4-3, something like that. Now the fumble did happen, and Antonio Gibson can't seem to stop fumbling. It is his kryptonite, and it happens, unfortunately, a whole lot. Cameron Akers, he gets that doo-doo matchup that Puka has against the San Francisco 49ers. What is the truth about Cameron Akers versus Kyren Williams? I think we're going to find out a lot this week. Between those two, I'm going to go Gibson, because I think that there still is a chance that Gibson works it, that they clean the slate of week 1. They say, Gibson, don't do it again. He might do it again. He might do it again. But Gibson should get the pass work, or more pass work than Brian Robinson. That Cam Akers, what we know about the split between Cameron and Kyren is Kyren will be the preferred passing running back. Like, Cameron ended with a bunch of touches at the end of the game because they were salting it away. But if they're in a tight matchup, or if they're in a negative game script, then for sure it will be Kyren. So I'm gonna go with Gibson over Cameron Akers. And shout out to John for that. That is the nastiest question of the week. We might need a drop for that. Brooks, make a note. Because we love it. We love nasty questions. Let's see. Cody wants to know Christian Kirk or Gabe Davis. Flex spot, full PPR. I have Allen. If I got Allen, I'm just going to roll Gabe Davis out there. Christian Kirk on the field for right around 70% of the snaps. Gabe Davis is a full-time player. He might give you nothing. He might give you everything. Like, Christian Kirk, I don't know that he's in that camp. He's a good wide receiver, and he will have his games. But if I have Josh Allen, that makes it a lot easier. I'm going to play Gabe the Babe. Gabe the Babe. Let's see. Sam wants to know Kyren Williams or Gus Edwards in a full PPR. I laid everything out for Kyren Williams to catch passes. That will not be Gus Edwards. He could be the goal line running back, but PPR, I'm not going to chase the touchdowns. I'm going to chase the high value touch of the reception. So I'm going to go that direction. Next question. We have my thing messed up. We got Jake says Sam Laporta or Hunter Henry. Both are good options this week. You got Laporta taking on the Seahawks, but you have Hunter Henry. He is my start of the week because he's playing the Miami Dolphins. Like, I don't care who the tight end is. If they are the starting tight end out there catching passes and they're playing against the Miami Dolphins, I'm going to play that tight end. Like, they are absolutely worth streaming. I'm going to go with Hunter Henry. Both are good plays, but I think Henry's ceiling is a multi-touchdown game this week. Next question is scrolling it down. Better co-host, Andy or Jason? Me. I don't know. Xavier wants to know Zay Flowers or Mike Williams in a full point PPR. I am going to go – wow. The PPR pushes me to Zay Flowers. Yeah, I feel good about that one. Let's see. We got Travis says PPR the Muth or Sam Laporta. Now, there is one where I'm good going to Sam Laporta. The Muth had – I don't know what they called it, but it might have just been a chest injury. But he got shooketh to the core on a huge hit. He did catch a touchdown. Was it after? Sorry, I can't remember. But the Muth ended with one catch, one touchdown. But he did have an injury there. Sam Laporta was very involved in the offense. We want to see that yards after catch, playmaking ability improve, but they really went to him. They featured him. Dr. Pat, half PPR. It's all tight end questions. Mandrews or Hunter Henry? I'm going Mark Andrews. I'm going to start my stud. All right, we're about to be up against the clock. Let's see. We got a John wants to know, John with no H. So Jan wants to know. That's a bad joke. Joshua Kelly, James Cook. Thank you, Brooks. I deserved it. Joshua Kelly, James Cook, or Jamal Williams in a full PPR. I will take James Cook. Had elite usage. He also had a bunch of receptions, so I will let that overtake my excitement here for Joshua Kelly. Let's see. We got odd B, Daniel Jones or Mac Jones. Jones versus Jones. Oh man, Mac Jones was very impressive, but I'll take the quarterback facing the Arizona Cardinals. So that is DJ. Let's see. GB K99, Brees or Algier. Give me Brees Hall, baby. I want that upside. Let's see. I like this one. Dominic says Shaheed or Kendrick Bourne in a half-point PPR. I'm going to go with Kendrick Bourne. I believe he ran the most routes of any wide receiver this past week. He was the wide receiver one. His career arc is so bizarre because he seems to get doghoused by the New England Patriots, but whenever he is I saw the stat, whenever he's basically on the field for more than like 60 to 65% of the snaps, Kendrick Bourne just dominates. He is a very, very strange wide receiver because I think he is good, but he's been in the league so long that it's like, what is taking so long? But his opportunity, I think it's coming this season, and Mac Jones and that offense looks so much better. That is going to do it, everybody. Once again, thefantasyfootballers.com. That's where you can go get the rankings. I'm going to head back in there, make sure they're getting it right, getting it tight. Wish you nothing but the best. Your enemy's nothing but the worst. And remember to keep it beautiful. Mwah! Good luck, everybody. See you tomorrow.